It's another Season 14 guide on how to win in ranked solo queue, going over the most important tips as well as proving these tips work and can be used on any champion. In this game we're playing Renekton. To start things off, let's begin with the early game and things that you should be doing. Now the most important tips for winning in the early game are knowing your damage, always be on time to lane, reaching level 2 at the same time or first, wave control and gold lead. Now in this example of knowing your damage, here we know we can trade the enemy at level 5 as we have 2 longswords for the extra damage. On top of this we have 50 fury for extra damage for our abilities. This allows us to come out of the trade with slightly higher HP. Right after, we put more pressure onto the Mordekaiser as we know we have the damage to eliminate him with our next full combo plus ignite. As you can see, he does end up falling and loses all his wave XP and gold, showing you why it's super important to know your damage as it creates an extra 300 gold lead for us. On top of this, he has lost a full wave. This allows us to buy more items for even better trades, making it even harder for the Mordekaiser to win his lane. Now the tip being on time to lane allows you to not get behind on the level 2 race. The level 2 race is super important as it gives you extra base stats and an extra ability, which will allow you to outtrade your opponent or go even trade with your opponent. There is an exception to this rule, as if you're counterpicked or versus a high damage early game champion like a Trundle, you'd want to play safe and purposely lose the level 2 race, or you will end up feeding a kill. Now it's highly likely your opponent will trade you, which is why you want to be on lane on time. And if you get to a point where you're too low HP, you won't be able to farm and you'll lose the race to level 2, and you will also lose wave gold. On top of this, you may have to recall, which again will make you lose more wave XP and gold. Inevitably, this will get you behind, causing you to lose the lane trades, which is going to make it more difficult for you to carry and win the game. As you can see, this is exactly what happens in this game. We reach lane on time and the Mord wants to trade us. We know he doesn't have the early kill pressure of a Trundle, so we trade him back. We also match the level 2 race and are able to kill him thanks to this. Super important things here: if we don't trade back and match the level 2 race, we lose this fight, and it would be Mord with the gold and XP advantages that we have just gained. Moving on to the tip wave control, you want to know when you need to push the wave, freeze the wave, or leave the wave. In this example, we need to leave the wave. If we do not leave the wave and try push it out, Mordekaiser will definitely eliminate us, giving him back the 300 gold lead we just gained, which isn't going to help you carry the game. Now moving on to mid game, your main focus is to do damage to towers and team play. Taking down towers to get to an inhibitor is what is going to win you the game. How you do this is by trading the enemy laner to force them to recall, or you can just eliminate them. This is why the early game tips are so important, as they help you not fall behind and create a gold lead for yourself for items to allow you to be able to do this. As you can see with the gold and XP lead we have created with the earlier plays from our tips, we're able to trade this Mordekaiser whenever we want while having kill pressure. Now since we take out the Mord, there's no one left to defend his tower unless his jungler helps him, or he has teleport up to teleport back in time to get to the lane. Still in the mid game, and you want to continue playing with the team, wave control and do tower damage. Here we're pushing in the wave to be able to do tower damage, as inevitably you want to get a tier 3 tower for an inhibitor. We're able to get a lot of tower damage off thanks to this, and on our next push we should be able to drop the tower, allowing us to move on to a tier 3 tower. As you can see, we finally do this thanks to our earlier damage to the tower. Now for late game, you want to continue to do tower damage, wave control and T-play, but you want to add in Baron and Elder priority. So when to Baron? Here our Briar is in the jungle and dies. We saw the Jax down there, and the scuttle reveals there's no enemy wards around the Baron, and so we decide to Baron considering all these things. Now it was a close Baron, but if our Syndra mid had rotated to us quicker, it wouldn't have been as close. After Baron, again you want to look for team plays or take down a tier 3 tower for an inhibitor. I'd recommend taking down at least 2 inhibitors to win the game, unless you're super confident that you can win with only taking 1. Hopefully this guide helped. Leave a comment and like if it did, and see you in the next one.